Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. So today I am finally, and I say finally because I've seen this video floating around YouTube for a while now, but I'm finally doing my top 3 favorite products from my top 3 favorite brands. And let me just say, this was hard. I was very excited to sit down and actually see what are my top 3 favorite products from all 3 of these brands? So we're gonna get into that very soon. Thank you so much for taking some time and spending it with me today. I truly do appreciate it. And if you are new, I would love for you to stop, hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell, join the Glam Girl Squad because we'd love to have you. And let's just get right into this video. So we have my top 3 favorite brands of all time: Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, and Charlotte Tilbury. So let's start off with Charlotte Tilbury. This one, definitely, I had a lot of products. Like, I could easily do my top 5 products. I could easily do my top 10 products almost with Charlotte Tilbury. I've got a lot of products from the brand that I truly do love, but when I narrowed it down, the way that I narrowed down all 3 of these were, what are the 3 things that come to my mind first? Because, right, it would mean that you really like those products, right? So the first product that I thought of when I thought of Charlotte Tilbury, and I was like, my favorite product, it would have to be her Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder. I have mine in the shade medium. As you can see, I've got a nice little pan going on there. Now, a disclaimer, if you've been watching my videos for a while now, you know I have a serious love affair, like a serious committed relationship with the Cashapp Cloud Setting Powder. Okay, that is what it is. However, prior to that powder coming out, my love affair was with this setting powder. So the reason why I love this setting powder is it was the first setting powder that when I applied it on my face, it did not look dry. My face did not look cakey. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can set my makeup without looking dry and cakey. Where did they do that? Like, I had not experienced that before. So I became obsessed with it. I was like, I think this is the best powder ever. I still truly do love this powder. Like, I need to do a showdown between Cashapp and Charlotte Tilbury to see which one is truly better. But like I said, I use this mostly in my T-zone. Set my T-zone, it holds my concealer, it looks beautiful, it's flawless. The under eye does not look dry at all. And the skin in my under eye area is more dry. So I would definitely recommend this for people who do have dry skin, who typically don't like powders at all. I do think this is a powder that you will enjoy. I've seen a lot of people who have dry skin who don't like powders, but they do enjoy this powder. It's just so lightweight. You don't feel like you have anything on your face in terms of powder, and it does just a beautiful job. I have purchased this no less than, like, I don't know, 4 times that I have purchased this particular powder, and I truly do love it. So this was the first product that came to mind when I thought about top 3 from Charlotte Tilbury. Then, my Beauty Light one in the shade Pillow Talk Medium. Y'all, this highlighter, let me tell you something. This is what it looks like on the back of my hand. And when I tap this onto the cheeks, I already have on makeup, but let's see if we can get a little action going on here. The way that I love to apply this is on top of my skin with no powder. And the way that that light hits it and just the skin looks so glossy and glowy. Guys. I just can't. It is so pretty. So I love the undertone of it. I love like highlighters and blushes that are like peachy gold, like, oh, just so juicy. I can't say enough good things about it. Y'all know I love glow. And I have to have the glow. Have to have the glow. And then finally, the product that made me fall in love with the brand of Charlotte Tilbury, that literally made me go like, Hollywood Flawless Filter. I can't with this. This is what I call magic in a bottle. This is not a foundation, it's not a primer, not a liquid highlighter, but it kind of does a little bit of everything. And the way that it looks on the skin, it is literally just like my skin is the most hydrated it has ever looked in its entire life. So I love to wear this on, I really like to put it on before I put on my foundation. I have put this on top of like my foundation. Like, I'll see if I can put a little bit on today. But I like to put this on the high points of my cheeks, down my T-zone, and it just makes my skin look so hydrated. Like the glossiness of that highlight, I mean, it's not a highlight. I don't know what it's called. It's just magic in a bottle. It is stunning. If I do put it on top of my foundation like I've done here, then I would just keep it really in the high points of my face. But the glow from that, especially under like a more like demi matte or matte foundation, it just changes everything up and it makes the foundation so beautiful, and it gives like the demi matte to matte foundations life, and that's why I love it. I have not worn this alone. I know some people have who have like more dry skin. It does have like a little bit of coverage. Like if I were to put it around the redness of my nose, it would like tone the redness down. But I primarily use it before I put my foundation on to like give my face just a beautiful glow. So those are the three products that like I must have in my arsenal from Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, then we're gonna go in with Natasha Denona. So the first product that I thought about that I was like I must have is her Bloom Blush and Glow palette. So this was the first of her face palettes, and when this palette came out, I fell so hard for it. It has gotten the most love out of all of the face palettes that I have from her, and I do have all of them, and it's just stunning. Like all of these shades are shades that I would wear at any given time. Like every one of these shades are shades that I truly enjoy. I really love this cream of blush shade here. And even after having this palette for a while, like this shade is still nice and creamy. This highlight right here, I love to use this one as like a blush highlighter sometimes. So if I'm brushing, I can use that as a blush highlighter. Here is that red shade that is just so beautiful. Even after all of this time, it does blend very nicely into the skin. This highlight, I love to actually wear it as like a traditional highlight. I just cannot. It's just so beautiful and stunning. And then this cream shade, I don't really use this one too much, but when I do use it, it does add a nice little bit of intensity to whatever highlight I put on top of it. So, I mean, it's just, all of these shades are pretty. If you know me, you know I love me some pinky, golden, peachy blushes and highlights. And I just feel like I get all of that in here. I also really enjoy the formulation of the highlighters. They're very high shine, but there's no chunks of glitter. There's no, you know, metallic particles. Like it's very fine. It blends really nicely into the skin. High pigmentation, like the list goes on and on and on. Still have so much love for that face palette. And out of all of them, like that is the one that I would recommend to really anybody who can wear that palette and who might enjoy that one. Then the next product that I would talk about is this Natasha Denona Biba palette. Oh my goodness. So I recently did rank all of my Natasha large and midi size palettes, and you probably can figure out where this one fell in on the ranking based on how much I am like gloating over this. But this palette is just everything. And it's so funny because looking at it, it's like, it's a standard neutral. What is the big deal about it? But it is literally a neutral lover's dream. It has everything in it that you will need for any neutral eye look, and I love that it's so versatile in terms of the looks that I can get. I can go smoky, dramatic with it. I can obviously do daytime appropriate, light wear, and the formulation of every one of these shades is just beautiful. The mattes blend so seamlessly, so easily. The shimmers give me tons of pigmentation, but they glide over the eyes. None of the shimmers and the metallic shades are going to just have like, you know, glitter chunks in them and, you know, do anything to the eye that's going to do anything less than make the eye look beautiful. Like, I cannot stop using this palette. It is in my drawer, and it's in the drawer that I reach for the most. Like, I can't. I have quickly fallen in love with this palette. And then the other third item is another palette because of her brand. Her palettes are what I love the most. And this one is the gold palette. So this one is beat up so terribly, but the love that I have for this palette, oh my gosh. You gotta watch my ranking video because I will go into more detail as to why I love this palette so much. I give you like a whole story. Not gonna spend the time and tell you the story here, but what I am gonna tell you is this. I do feel like her gold palette is the best formulated palette. Like, the formula in here is just unmatched out of all of her shadows that she has created, in my opinion. That's just me. The formula is unmatched. And even though it's a palette full of mostly golds and tans and browns, you'd be surprised how many looks that you can get from this and how different the looks can get. And I can't even, I mean, the formula, like I said, it's unmatched. It is unmatched. I will say between these two, like, it was very hard to choose which one would be number one. But, well, I won't tell you what my number one is because you got to watch the ranking video. But obviously, you could probably figure out where these two fall in. But yes, these two palettes and this face palette, like, if all of my other Natasha products went away, as sad as I would be, I'd be like, at least I have these. Okay, and then Mother Pat, because we have to save Mother Pat for last. And did you buy Utopian today? Because I bought it. Did you buy it? Are you excited about it? I know there's a lot of us that are not excited about it. I am excited about it because I know that's a palette that I'm gonna love. I don't even have it in my hands. I just know I'm gonna love it. So I cannot wait to actually experience it with you all, share my thoughts and views, but I digress. I mean, I just had to ask you if you bought it because it came out today. But the first product from Mother Pat that I am like, this is by far one of her best products that she has created outside of her Motherships. This foundation. Her Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation is truly perfection. So I wear the shade M19 and I love this particular foundation because it is it's one of those fewer foundations that I can truly wear it under any circumstance and apply it however I want. And what I mean by that is this. This is one of the fewest foundations that I own that I actually enjoy applying this with my hands. Like, if I want to put on a little something to take the redness away and be out the door, like no brows filled in, lip gloss on my lips, and this on my face, you can't even tell. My face just looks like I have on a beautiful moisturizer and I've got good skin that day. All jokes aside, if I want to glam it up and do a nice little solid medium coverage and then take it to the red carpet, I can do that with this as well. It is such a beautiful foundation. And I will admit, I had a little bit of a learning curve with this because the first time I tried this, it clung onto all my dry patches. I was like, what in the world is this? And I actually took it back. It looked so bad on my skin. Then I kept hearing people rave about it like it was in everybody's favorites. And I was just like, okay, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing something. So when I went back and purchased it again, I put on a hydrating primer before and then applied this. And I was like, okay, I see where we're going with this. So if you have drier skin, I would recommend using a hydrating primer. If you've got combination oily skin, I think you could really enjoy this without any type of, additional manipulation of your skin prior to putting this on. And for me, I just go in with a hydrating primer, or I'll use like a thicker moisturizer that day, and this looks so beautiful on the skin. I also love the color. I love foundations that have like a peachy tone to them because I think they look really complimentary to my skin, and this one has that as well. Cannot I cannot say enough about this. And I've been reaching for this foundation a lot lately, and I'm just like, yep, this is why I love you. Love this foundation. The second product is a newer product by Mother Pat, but nonetheless, I cannot do without these. And it is her Divine Rose blushes. I can't, like, these blushes are the blushes of the year. Like, of all the blushes I've tried this year, this is where it's at. These are so beautiful. They are so bomb. The formulation, amazing. Pigmentation, there. Can you apply a little bit? Can you apply a lot? Yes, you can. And then the shades of them, I love. Like, I have all 9 blushes. I have a whole review, so I'll link it for you. Every blush and the shade works on my complexion. Even the most lighter shades that look like they might be too light or maybe be a little too cool tone for my complexion, they work. And this shade, Electric Bloom, I don't have anything like her at all. She is unique to my collection. She looks so beautiful across complexions. My mom loves this, and she has a very deep, rich complexion. I love it. I've seen it on lighter complexions. It looks beautiful. So of all of my Divine Rose blush shades, I mean, I love them all. I could definitely do like a top 3 favorite of the just blushes alone, but this shade is like my number 1 because I don't have anything like it. And even when I thought I had blush shades similar to this, I don't. She's just by herself. Like, you need this blush shade in your life. Let me give you a little swatcheroo. If you haven't seen her, I mean, I know you have, but if for some reason you haven't seen her, look at that. Look at that. I'm telling you, it's so unique. And the way that these shades just melt into the skin, as a matter of fact, I think these blushes are applied best onto skin that is not set with powder, because it literally allows the pigmentation to melt into your skin and become one with your skin. Ugh. You ain't tried blush till you've tried Mother Pat's blush. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, last but not least, it's gotta be a Mothership palette. I mean, it ain't a Pat McGrath anything if we're not talking about a Mothership. And so I had to go. I have also done a ranking of my Pat McGrath Mothership palettes. I'll go ahead and link that video for you. And out of all the ones that I have, this was so hard too, because my Motherships, I love all of them. I have a whole story for each and every one of them. Gotta watch the video. But I had to go with my number, well, I don't want to tell you, but I had to go with this one. Divine Rose 2. This palette, just every time I open it up, I'm like, yes, yes, mother. Yes, mother. This is me in a palette. Y'all know I love pink eyeshadow, okay? I got all my pinks here. I love that I can use this particular eyeshadow palette as well for blush and highlight. So the 2 shades that I use for blush are going to be the 2 matte light shades, and they are right here and right there. Beautiful shades for blushes. For highlight, oh my gosh, this shade right here is stunning as a highlighter. And oh, I forgot about this one as a blush. Beautiful, like shimmer type blush. And the formulation of her special shades, I think, is the best in this particular palette. Cannot say enough about this palette. Like I said, for me, this is a face palette as well as an eyeshadow palette, but a lot of Mother Pat's palettes are like that. But this one is like, yeah, this is me. This is me in a palette. So I had to do it with Mother Pat. That is it, guys. Short and sweet. These are my top 3 favorite products from my top 3 favorite brands. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Tell me what your favorite products are from Charlotte Tilbury, Natasha Denona, and Pat McGrath. I'd love to know your thoughts. And I do want to do this again because I have a lot more products that I can talk about. So if you like this style of video, definitely let me know. I won't mind doing another one of these amongst other three of my favorite brands, because I got a lot of makeup, so I got a lot more of this that I can talk about. And if you made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, definitely go ahead and consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.